So I wanted to give a little update on NaNoWriMo. I'm also wearing, this is my Incrediwear wear for my wrist that has been hurting a lot. But I wanted to give an update on NaNoWriMo because I'm in the last week. It has almost been a full month. I just passed the 40,000 word mark out of 50,000 words that I will reach, fingers crossed, by the end of the month. It has been such an incredible journey. I just feel, bless you, Aurora. I just feel so much more at peace and content with my life and where it is now. And I think it has just been an incredible journey of processing and coming back to things again and again if I need to continue processing them. And it's just been really amazing. I would highly recommend to anyone, especially people going through therapy, to do this in addition to that. Or even if you aren't going to therapy, this is a great way to process things. And I've had several people who, like, close to me be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I would love to do this too. So that's something where I'm like, oh my gosh, should I become like a NaNoWriMo therapy coach for people to do NaNoWriMo and use it as a form of therapy to just process things from their childhood, say they're writing like a memoir or an autobiography, whichever one they prefer, and just process things in a month-long novel format that might just be for themselves, but it could also help other people if they decide to. So anyway, that has been really exciting. I also just decided to start dictating to it. So there's a diction tool in Microsoft Word that I used to use for some of my journaling because my wrist really, both wrists actually, and elbows have really been hurting this month with all of the math work I was doing, all the computer work I do just in general with emails and stuff, and then also on top of that, also doing this. And so yeah, my body was just like, that's enough. We're hurting. And so I started dictating, and it was actually so much better. I was probably 3 days behind and I suddenly caught up and got ahead in like one session because I basically was almost like vlogging, which I think is so funny. I just didn't have the visual form, but I almost was stream of consciousness, writing everything out and just letting myself almost overflow onto the book that I'm writing. And that was a really cool experience. So I'm writing so much faster now and really racking up words a lot quicker. And I think that's really cool. I was listening to this podcast. I'll insert the name of the podcast below. I can't think of it off the top of my head because it's a new podcast that I just started that someone sent me. And the interviewee was talking about, on his YouTube channel, he does two things. One, he documents the process as he's learning things, and then two, he shares kind of in a teaching role the things that he has learned. And I was like, wow, that's such an interesting way to put it, because I think on this vlog channel, I love documenting. I love documenting the whole thing. And sometimes I do a little bit of sharing of stuff that I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge in, but in general, it is truly documenting the journey. And that's the content that I enjoy watching as well. So hopefully that's the kind of content that you enjoy too, because I'm really loving documenting my learning processes and the journey as I go, and hopefully you get something off of that too. That's why I love vlogs so much, I think, instead of the YouTubers who just sit down and make a whole video about something, because I love the rawness of it, the vulnerability, the opening up. And I think that that's just such a cool experience to be a part of, because even friends, I don't tell my friends the same things that I tell my vlog. And so I think it's really a very different experience. So yeah, I was reflecting on that a little bit as well, which was a cool thing to kind of put together in my mind from what that person was saying, which was really cool. I also have really been focused on my health. Unfortunately, this weekend, I was really nauseous and queasy again. So I really just spent most of the weekend on my couch reading for the majority of it, because I was just so nauseous I couldn't do anything else, which was definitely sucky. And I don't know what triggered that, but we're taking it day by day. Also, update on anxiety. I've been consciously taking an effort to not pick my lips when I'm anxious, and they're looking pretty good, which is very exciting. So yes, it's the little things, because it was just a habit. Like when I was nervous about something, I would just like pick my lip, or when I was spacing out, I would just pick my lip. And now that it's healed, it's a lot harder to just do that. So yeah, really grateful for that and for progress. And I also have been getting a ton of questions just from my friends on the apps that I use, because I will like post a picture of an app on social media, and then people, every single time, someone will message me being like, oh my gosh, what app are you using? So I wanted to say what apps I use, because hopefully that will help other people. So the 2 apps that I'm gonna highlight today, not sponsored by the way, would be cool if it was, but it's fine. The one app that I use every single day is called Strides. Both of these apps I use every single day. Focus, focus. So this one is called Strides. Oh my God, get it together, camera. There we go. So this one is my habit app, and I keep track of everything on here, literally everything. So I keep track of like doing 5 emails a day, some of my social stuff, making sure I'm texting people back, stretching, making sure I'm making my bed, listening to podcasts. And so there's a bunch of different kind of ways you can keep track of habits on here. If you add a habit, it shows a bunch of different kind of template habits that you can do, and you can also just create your own tracker. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. It can be a habit, it can be a target, it can be an average, or a project, which is like actions by date. So there's so many different ways that you can create your habit. You can even put in like a bad habit and then put it down when you've done the bad habit if you're trying to stop a habit. So that is something I use every single day to keep track and make sure that I'm doing the things that I know are good for me and that I really benefit from, like making sure I stretch every day, making sure I make my bed as just a respect to life, making sure I listen to a Daily Stoic podcast and do all my daily morning readings that I do. And so yeah, that has been really fun. And then the other app that I use is called ATracker. Now, right now I say I'm doing emails. Obviously I'm not doing emails, but this has a tracker for literally anything and everything. So I track practically everything in my life. I track my reading time, my writing time, upcycle, podcasts, the time I'm studying Stoicism, free thinking time, organizing, when I'm journaling, like literally everything, including social media times like Instagram, Snapchat, texting people, TV time, YouTube, all of that. I keep track of every single thing. For both of these, there's a free version, and then there's also like a version you can buy, and I've upgraded to the version that I buy. I think ATracker is like a one-time $5 that you can get unlimited trackers. I think if you don't do that, you get maybe 4 or 5 trackers for free, which is usually enough for most people, but I just do use this for every single area of my life. And then Strides, I think that one's like a monthly like $2 fee or something. And since I use it every single day, it's worth it for me. But it also has a free version. You just get a lot less trackers, I think. So anyway, I wanted to share those because I do get a lot of questions about the apps that I use. And these are just apps that I have found help me in everyday life. You might have different apps that you use that you have found are super helpful, but I do love telling people about them because I just use them every single day and they keep me on track. Other than my Google Calendar, obviously, that one definitely helps me keep my life on the track as well. So yeah, anyway, I just want to kind of do this little update one because I haven't been vlogging as much. I'm kind of doing it was interesting from the beginning of my vlog until now. Now I'm doing a lot more little recap vlogs where I'll sit down and just talk about the last couple days or things I've been thinking about. And in the past, I would vlog after like every little thing happened. And I don't know which one people like better. I'm just kind of evolving in my format, I think. And so if you like something different, please let me know and I will think about if that would work for me, because yeah, it's just definitely evolving, which I think is fun. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to emails, which I said I was doing on my tracker right now, which I'm not. And I hope you're having an amazing day. Bye. So today I am working on a presentation. I was actually accepted to speak at the Mill Summit. So I'm gonna be working on my presentation for that. My theme for the presentation that was accepted is one person can make an impact, just take the first step. And I'm going to share what I have done in order to take that first step, because it's the hardest step. It truly is. And I think if people can get past the friction of that first step, it is so much easier. It's still hard, but it is so much easier once you've taken that first step that's holding you back. So I'm currently working on my presentation for that. This is the first time I will have a presentation slot that's like 30 to 45 minutes of me, just me speaking. So I'm really excited for this. It's definitely new territory, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So far I'm adapting a presentation with graphics that I had from a different presentation, but I really like the graphics in it, so I'm gonna use that presentation. Let me show you. So this is the this is the graphic slide. I really like just the graphics in it. This was a whole different presentation I did for something else, but I really like the graphics in it. So I think I'm gonna use the same kind of graphics and then just adapt it to this presentation with a different background as well. So here we go.